holistic healthcare, homeopathy, naturopathy, acupuncture, hypnotherapy, and other alternative forms of healthcare for overall vitality and well-being. From the Renaissance Health Center in Las Vegas, it's the Healing the Whole Body podcast. Hi, everyone. This is Heather Manji for the Renaissance Health Center Healing the Whole Body podcast. And today we've got Dr. Dhani, who specializes in classical homeopathy, with us today. And I'm really looking forward to getting to know you. We got to do a little chit-chatting before we got started. And you are new to Renaissance Health Center by how many months? You said 10 months?
Yes, I started in January 2024. So it's almost 10 months now.
So how did you find out about Renaissance Health Center and Dr. Pfau?
It's a very long story, Heather. Let me go back to last year. I came to Vegas basically, I'm from upstate New York, and visited Las Vegas to see my husband's friends. So because he's from Vegas. So it was May 2023. I was searching for homeopathic doctor or homeopathic practitioners in Vegas. So all of a sudden I found Dr. Pfau. And then that was the time I reached out to the clinic, reached out to the Renaissance Health Center and provided my all information. And within like 10 to 15 minutes, I got a call from Dr. Pfau. It was a magical moment for me because I and my husband were thinking to move to Vegas, but we didn't have any like a solid plan. But after knowing Dr. Pfau and all this opportunity, we decided to come here.
Nice. So were you already studying homeopathy then at that point?
Unfortunately not. Because I'm basically from India, and I started my studies back in 2007. So it took me more than 10 years to finish my bachelor's and MD in homeopathy. And besides that, I was also practicing side by side. So it took me like almost 10 years to in this particular field as a practitioner also. I was taking all the cases online, but I moved to United States in January 2021 to pursue my master's degree in public health from University of New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay. So what got you interested in homeopathy, classical homeopathy for that matter? Because we need to explain probably to the audience the difference with classical homeopathy versus just homeopathy as well, right?
Yes, because we are in this world where everything is so fast and we need to have everything quick. So, but I believe in classical homeopathy, which is the basic foundation, which means minimum and single dose. And the memory is still fresh in my mind how I get into homeopathy, specifically classical homeopathy. It was my uncle who was suffering from psoriasis as well as a headache and some other physical complaints also. And he was prescribed all the conventional medicines, but nothing was working. It was before I entered the school. So after somebody suggested him to go and see this classical homeopath, very renowned homeopath in India. So all of a sudden, he started seeing subtle changes in him, which was really rare to see in psoriasis, specifically when you have a skin lesions.
Right.
So my mother, everybody was so amazed by that thing. And that time I started reading about homeopathy. Like, what is this? Why this, particularly this medical field is so different from conventional. So all of a sudden I got interest in this and I entered the school and decided to pursue classical homeopathy. And I'm also taking homeopathic medicine for myself, for my family. My husband takes, everybody's taking homeopathy at my home.
That's amazing. Where did you go to study classical homeopathy?
I'm basically from New Delhi, and I did bachelor's from BRSU Homeopathic Medical College, which is like a college affiliated by Guru Gobind Singh Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, New Delhi.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to Punjab, where I did my MD in
Okay.
homeopathy.
So, I have psoriasis also. And
Yeah, I know that. I
that's how
know.
my dad got interested in homeopathy also because he saw miraculous changes in my body through homeopathy. So I love that correlation for sure. Because if you talk to anyone in the allopathic medical world, they'll tell you that it's uncurable. And that's actually not true. And so, how would you describe how homeopathy works?
It's a very difficult question because homeopathy works on individualistic, because we have an individualistic approach that every individual is different, and the it I'll try to explain it. It's like a stimulus and susceptibility. If you provide a stimuli to something, it's gonna respond back differently.
Mm-hmm.
So similarly with homeopathy, if you have certain symptoms, I'm not gonna just give you the remedy on the basis of symptoms. I'm gonna go through everything, including your emotion, mood, your physical general, everything. And on the basis of that, I'm gonna make a totality of symptoms that will help me to understand what remedy can go for you. So every individual have different remedies for different condition. Maybe you are suffering from same conditions, but remedies would be different.
So basically what you're saying is that one remedy that would help me for my psoriasis and other ailments would not be the same remedy for someone else because it's all based off our constitution. Basically the makeup of our entire body, our habits, our sleep, our eat pattern, our eating patterns, you know, everything.
Yes,
Everything you can think of. That makes us
everything you
super
can think of.
unique, right? On an
Yes,
individual
because
level.
yes, on an individual level, and everybody is unique. Everybody is unique in their own way. So instead of just thinking about one route, we think about multiple route just to rectify what's going on, what's the root cause of the condition.
One of the things that I really love about homeopathy the most is that when you're treating a particular condition for someone, and we're talking about a chronic condition, if you are matching the person with the right homeopathic remedy, then so many other conditions are just instinctually or naturally healing as well. Like sleep patterns get better. What other things are you finding with patients?
That's correct because this is something I have seen in my whole career. For example, if a person is coming for like migraine, so I'm just not gonna give medicine on the basis of migraine. I'm gonna take care of everything, which is physical generals and mental general. And on the basis of that, I'm gonna give the medicine. It is not necessarily that the patient gonna see the immediate changes in his migraine, but there will be a change in his overall health. There, if he's suffering from constipation for so long, the constipation would be better, thirst would be better, and other overall symptom would be better.
Yeah.
So
There's really
yes,
no such thing as bad side effects, kind of like with prescription medication, right?
yes, we have because we have medicines which are highly diluted, and it actually intrigue the inner self or inner healing power of a body that help you to heal itself.
Mm.
Um, and in fact, there is no side effect, but we have a homeopathic aggravation, which is good for the like treatment.
Mm-hmm. What things have you seen in your personal life with homeopathy that's been life changing?
Um, there are so many incidents, Heather. One of the incident is so close to me. It was back in 2008 or 2007. I don't exactly remember. My dad, he was diagnosed with diabetes. But before that, he got an attack. He was not able to breathe properly. He had like 102-degree fever, and his body was heating. Like it was a very tough time for me. But I was studying homeopathy. I reached out to one of my senior and asked them what remedy should I give it to my dad because he's suffering from like high grade fever. Then my senior prescribed ferrum plus gelsemium
Mm.
because he had no thirst that time. So all of a sudden, before that, he was not able to talk, nothing, but he actually puked after taking homeopathic medicine. Then
He
we rushed
puked?
to home. He puked. He puked
So
immediately
do you
after
think it's like
taking
he's
home.
just releasing toxins, or what was that? What do you think was that response?
That time I was unaware, but after he was admitted to the hospital, the doctor said that it was good, he puked. Otherwise, he went into coma. He
Oh,
went into the coma. And after that, he started taking, once after he came back to home, we started homeopathic medicine for him. For diabetes, he's taking um, homeopathic mother tincture as well as other constitution remedy, and he's doing really great. And I
that's
feel thank.
amazing.
And I'm that time was really hard for me and my entire family.
Yeah.
We would have lost our dad, my dad that time,
Yeah.
but
I
homeopathy
understand
is
that. We had
yeah.
a similar experience in our family too, where my family was in a really bad car accident, and my little sister's intestines were perforated in seven different places, and she was in the emergency room for a really long period of time, and they wouldn't release her until her digestion, like she actually had a bowel movement or had passed gas. So they knew that she had healed, right? And my dad gave her a homeopathic remedy to stimulate that, and within a day, she was released from the hospital.
That's really good. And to be honest, I personally believe in homeopathy. I take homeopathy in my all conditions. And if I have like a rhinitis or running nose or anything like a minor thing, I take homeopathy. I try not to take any other remedies or conventional medicines, and entire my family as well.
So let's talk about the different types of remedies. So there are thousands and thousands of different types of remedies, right? There are
Yes.
also different types of doses that you can give. You can give doses that are for acute reasons and for chronic conditions. For example, I have a homeopathic kit at my house. I think there's probably 40 different homeopathic remedies in there. And so if anything, any acute condition comes up, I text my dad. I'm like, what should we take? And that is called a 30C. And you can find those at holistic stores, kind of like nature store, health food stores, basically is what you would call it. And then what are the other doses that you can treat with for more chronic conditions?
We treat with LM potencies, that is basically a liquid form, and the 200 potency for sure. Then if the symptoms are not getting better, or is get situated on certain point, then we go for the higher potencies like 1M, 10M, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So, but and as I mentioned in the previous conversation, homeopathy is not just about the symptoms. It is about overall health and finding out the root cause. And every individual is different and unique.
Mm-hmm.
So remedies, potencies, and entire these things are entirely depend on the drug picture, which drug we are prescribing, because and the patient condition, and these are few factors that actually help me, or I think help every homeopath, what remedy and what potency should be given.
Mm-hmm. So when you say everyone's really individual and each remedy is super specific, how many remedies are out there that you could potentially prescribe to someone for a chronic condition?
It is also very difficult to say that, but we have deep acting remedies that we considered as a constitution remedies, or we can say like polycrus, that covers majority of symptoms in every individuals, and their overall picture. For example, natramur is one of the very popular remedy in homeopathy field. So netramur is basically given in cases of migraines, and specifically aggravated by the sun, which is more popular in Vegas and Arizona places where we have extreme heat. So in this case, if the patient is coming for the acute condition, I would definitely going to give like 30C. But if there is anything underlying conditions, like netramur is very good remedy for psoriasis
Mm-hmm.
and other skin lesions. So in that case, I have to take the whole case taking, which is take like 1 hour to 1.5 hours. With that, I will decide what potency should go. And also, it depends on individual for sure. But kids are more active. When the person is more active and very zealous, so we go for higher potencies. When the person is really very low or very not very comfortable in talking or something like that, we definitely start with the low potencies.
And so when you treat someone with a chronic condition with a constitutional remedy, which is what is considered classical homeopathy, how long are you seeing their body healing and being stimulated to heal? Like when are you seeing those symptoms being alleviated?
Um, this is something depend on how the patients are taking remedies first, and the second thing is there any maintaining cause that is hindering the result? But usually, I can see the subtle changes within 2 weeks.
Are
Not just
they
the
seeing that? Well, I know you probably are so tuned into seeing it. Are the patients seeing it too, and are they feeling it?
patient seeing it too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, patients are seeing it too, and because the symptoms are subjective, and symptoms the patient gonna tell me. But if there is a signs or any like outward expression of the body
Right.
that can be seen by me or their attendant, that can also help us.
Okay. That's amazing. And so, what are some really interesting cases, or one particularly that you have seen that's come through that has just been really incredible with someone who's been struggling with something?
Okay, I'm gonna try to tell you one acute case, which is of arsenic 30. There was a patient who actually had something outside, or I'm not sure, I don't remember exactly, but they went for the picnic or something. And when they came back, the patient got a severe diarrhea,
Mm.
very offensive diarrhea, and they immediately called me. And I asked them few questions like how you're feeling, what's your thirst, because in acute case we are not gonna take like 1 hour or 1.5 hour case taking.
Mm-hmm.
We just gonna ask the mood and what are the physical symptoms like their thirst, bowel movement, everything. So the patient told me that there is a diarrhea and there is a watery diarrhea, very offensive, and excessive thirst. So that will help me to understand what's going on, because those are the common symptoms of diarrhea. But then I asked them, what did you eat? Then the patient immediately said they went for the picnic and they had something outside. So I immediately told the patient, because they had like a first aid kit like you at
Mm-hmm.
home, and I told them just take 1 dose of arsenic right now, immediately. So within a 1 dose, like 2 granules, he he feels so good. He did not use the restroom after that.
That's
That was
amazing. So,
arsenic.
you say arsenic, and I think people who aren't familiar with homeopathic remedies might be twitching a little bit, thinking arsenic's bad. So tell us about how arsenic homeopathic remedy can be good. Like, how is that converted energetically so that it heals and stimulates the body?
As our remedies are highly diluted, so all the poisonous and everything what people think about is not would be there. So, and it's a medicinal form, so it's based from it's most of our remedies are natural based and derivated from natural resources. So these things are done by the potentization, which is a mechanism of manufacturing homeopathic remedies. So those have very light or diluted forms, I would say, and everything is very, very low in that.
So basically,
So
this is what I like to explain to people, because really I come across so many people who have zero understanding about how homeopathy works. And then, of course, there's so many people out there who practice homeopathy, who say they practice homeopathy, but they really aren't practicing homeopathy. It's so different from naturopathy and some of these other holistic type of practitioners. Homeopathy is very specific to the type of remedies that are treated, which are about 1,000 years old, that are based out of Europe, correct? Just correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Dhani, as I'm talking.
Yeah, it started in the 17th century. So homeopathy. So it's been like 200 years now, I guess.
Okay, I said
100.
1,000. Apparently, I
Yeah.
can't do math.
No
Wait, what
worries.
year are
It's
we in?
okay. It's okay. If you say 1,000 years, if that helps, that's good.
And so then there's a remedy called belladonna. I like to use this as an example because belladonna is actually the venom from a bee sting. And typically when you get stung by a bee, it creates certain symptoms like inflammation,
Yeah.
pain, a variety of other type of conditions. But when you take it to its most minutest form, literally on a scientific level, if you tested it, you wouldn't even be able to find a trace of the original element that's in it, right? So the actual energy imprint is in the homeopathic remedy. It creates the opposite effect. So generally, belladonna is then given to patients who have a form of inflammation or like a headache or certain types of conditions that is very mimics the type of original type of symptom that belladonna would create.
Yes, yes, that's why. Basically, homeopathy derived from the word or the concept is like your life, which suggesting that the substance capable of producing the symptom in the individual, the same way the original like original matter produce, but it's a very diluted form, and we've been it is basically the law of similar, the
Mm.
principle that evolved the system of medicine. That's why homeopathy means homeo means similar, and pathy means suffering.
Yeah. So it's a really beautiful way to treat and heal people.
Yes.
Um, so we have about 3 more minutes. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about your practice and about what you're
Um,
finding with your patients?
Definitely. I want to share few things because I also teach students homeopathy, specifically materia medica, but I'm also thinking to give some like one or like every fourth Saturday or Friday or something. So people who are actually wanted to know about homeopathy or want to have like homeopathy at home, that would be great. And I'm thinking to like make some kind of like a lecture on for them.
That would
So
be
that's what I'm
amazing.
thinking that I'm
Well,
thinking.
whatever videos you make, we really need to upload those onto our YouTube channel so we can share it too on our Healing the Whole Body podcast page and the Renaissance Health Center page. So send those to me. Um, where do you see yourself with your practice? Do you see yourself doing this for a while? Are you going to stick with classical homeopathy? Are you going to be expanding in any other arenas?
To be honest, I'm so content with classical homeopathy. I don't see myself deviating outside from this. And I see my patients are also getting good result. And I think I'm gonna see myself in the next 20, 25 years doing homeopathy, classical homeopathy, until I become 80 years old. I think that,
Yes, I love it.
yes.
So what are your hours? When are you practicing? What are the best days? And can patients contact you and ask you questions before seeing you? What can they expect? How long is the appointment?
So it is not very difficult. I can explain very easily. So I work from Monday through Thursday because recently we changed our office times. So no Friday. So I work from 9 to 5. And the first consultation would be little bit longer because I need to know what exact things are going on in the patient as well as in my client. So it takes first initial visit would be longer, but the follow-ups are usually for 30 to 45 minutes, depending on patients. Some patient wants to talk more and wants to discuss more. So I'm not very much strict with 45 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
but but follow-ups are usually between 30 to 45 minutes.
And do you have to meet the patient in person, or can you do it
Uh,
over the
I
phone?
I recommend my patient first time to come and see me in person. But follow-ups, I also want them to see me in person. But there are cases when the person is not able to come and see. So in that case, I take patients over the Zoom, over the phone, or Skype, or anything, whatever they have availability, like even for FaceTime if they have.
Nice.
But yes, I'm
Well,
available in that too as well.
this has been really great, and it's really great to meet you over a podcast because I have yet to meet you at the office. I'm there so sporadically. Thanks for making the time to join us and to sharing everything about your practice.
Of course, Heather, and thank you for this opportunity. I hope people gonna learn about homeopathy and try to explore this beautiful field, and yeah, just get benefits from this natural care.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heather.
Bye. This has been the Healing the Whole Body podcast from the Renaissance Health Center in Las Vegas. Visit us at iwholehealth.com. That's the letter I, wholehealth.com. Here's to a vibrant, healthy, productive life.